all good.
Right, Ethan. So based on everything that we spoke about today on the call, right, where you're at right now, what you've sort of tried before in the past, and where you're actually looking to get to, I do feel like you're going to be a good fit for this, and that we are going to be able to help you out, right? So, would you want me to run you through what the next few months is actually going to look like for you if you do decide to take action today, man?
Yeah, man, go for it.
Beautiful. Right. So the very first thing that we sort of offer, right, is actually learning the knowledge required. So the way I like to think of this is it's like essentially building a foundation, right? It's like learning how to box before you jump into a boxing ring for the first time. You need the actual foundation, the skills necessary to go on ahead and do that. So the way we offer essentially the knowledge and how you will actually learn the knowledge is through structured videos. So think of it like the Netflix series that your missus is forcing you to watch right now, man, right?
Yeah,
But instead of the episodes being an hour or 2 hours long, they're more like TikToks or Instagram reels that you probably scroll through, right? But instead of it
hmm
being fucking brain rot, it's actually useful videos that has all this information in them, right? That you're going to be able to use and actually learn. And the way it works is you watch the video and then you actually write down notes on every single module that there is, and then you'll take quizzes at the end of each module to make sure that you're actually retaining the information and understanding what you're learning. Does that structure sound good, Ethan?
yeah, it sounds alright. Like,
And why do you feel like it sounds all right?
I mean, yeah, man, like videos, taking notes, like it sounds like a pretty solid like structure. Do you know what I mean? It's like
Mhm.
instead of like it being like just a document, like a file of just a spiel of shit. Do you know what I mean? Like videos are a bit more like sort of easier to actually take the information in, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Because earlier you sort of touched on the fact that you didn't know where to start, right? Because there was too much information out there. There was no structure, essentially. There was one video on this, there was another video on this. So
hmm
do you feel like actually having the videos all in order, starting from video one down to whatever amount of videos there is, say video 100, having them all in structure that teaches you step by step, do you feel like that's actually going to be useful?
Yeah, I'd say it definitely would be, man.
Because say we didn't have that structure, you were just sort of there to figure it out on your own, figure out the order on your own of what to learn. Do you feel like, what do you feel like would happen then?
Definitely just get overwhelmed, man, and lost.
Mm. Yeah, and we don't want that happening, obviously. We want you
No.
to actually be able to learn as fast and as efficiently as possible. But obviously, nobody's perfect, right? There might come a time where you might get lost. You might have a question. You might not understand something, right? So that's actually where the one-on-one coaching is that we spoke about earlier. That's where it comes in. So, Ethan, tell me, say whenever you went to school, right?
hmm
Whenever you got stuck, whenever you had a question, who did you go to?
Teacher,
Awesome. Whenever you were learning how to drive, and you had a question, who did you go to?
an instructor.
Your driving instructor. Exactly. See, man, whenever ABC was created, right, we try to keep things as simple as possible. So a lot of people throughout different aspects of their life do have an instructor or a teacher. So we try to just make it as natural as possible and implement the same thing here. So what we actually have, as I said, are the one-on-one coaches. With them coaches, you'll have 18 live sessions per week. You'll be able to speak to them, ask any questions that you might have, and they'll essentially be able to help you out, get you on the right track if there is something that you're struggling with. Do you feel like having those sessions one on one with them is going to help you?
Yeah, definitely, man.
Why do you feel like that?
We're just actually like engaging with like sort of the teachers is where I learn the most, if you know what I mean. Like like having that one-to-one conversation and interaction with someone when they sort of understand exactly what you're sort of like sort of stuck on, and then them not giving up until they make sure you understand. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly. Exactly. Because ultimately they're there so that you can get yourself back on the right track, that you're not maybe questioning yourself or, beating yourself up about something or questioning yourself about something simply because maybe you just don't understand and you need somebody else with more experience maybe to come in and tell you, right?
Yeah.
But Ethan, yes, obviously you have the coaching, right? And there's 18 live sessions per week. You told me that you work a lot earlier. So what we do as well is we actually record the sessions so that you can watch them back in your free time or even whenever you're working, you're, I don't know, pulling cables together and one of the buses, like you said, whenever you're working as an
Yeah.
auto spark, just put a wee AirPod in and you can actually listen to the sessions. Do you feel like that's any good to you?
Yeah, man, definitely. Like,
And why do you feel like that, man?
just like, so I'm not like messing out on the calls, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
And then like, obviously, like if I'm wanting to study or whatever, or if I've been sort of through like all those modules you were talking about, like there's that extra information there.
Exactly.
Yeah, like obviously there's going to be like more common sort of issues as well with like all the other students asking questions. So yeah, it'd be pretty good.
For sure, for sure. Because, even though you're, potentially could start today, right? There will be calls available for you to watch from, the last probably about 12 months, right? There's a lot of calls that you could watch to
Yeah.
help yourself out if you do get stuck. But Ethan, right? Let's say if, for example, you have a question, but all the coaches, I don't know, are sleeping or they're all busy and you don't actually have anyone to answer your question. Who do you feel like you should go to then?
Don't even know.
All right. Well, let me break that down for you, right? So, apart from the coaches, we actually do have a community of members, roughly about 800 members in the community right now, right? And all these people, they're either maybe slightly ahead of you or they're actually in the same position that you are right now. Only starting, trying to get out of their job, trying to get out of their job and actually, see success, right? So, let's say you do get stuck, you can actually interact with all the members within the community as well and ask any questions there. Because think of the community like a Facebook page, right? You can, post, you can make friends, whatever it is that you feel like you need to do, you can do it
Hmm.
on there, right? Do you feel like having that community around you as well is going to help you?
Yeah, man, for sure.
And why do you feel like that's going to help you?
Just sort of like it's like being in school, man, like having like people around you that sort of learn the same thing. You know, if you're stuck and the teacher's writing shit on the board, you just turn to your mate and like ask a question and boom, answer like.
Yeah, for sure. Because yeah, as you said, like in school, you have all your mates around you to ask questions as well. The way I see it, right? It's like if you say, for example, started to play football today, right?
Hmm.
And would you rather have 10 professional footballers around you, or would you rather have 10, for example, basketball players around you?
Probably the football players, like,
Why the football players?
because they're gonna know what they're doing. The basketball players are gonna be picking the ball up and trying to shoot hoops.
Yeah, so essentially the football players are going to have the same idea as you, right?
Yeah.
So within the community, right? You've 800 members that all essentially, like the football players, want to achieve what you want to achieve. All of them want to achieve success. I mean, do you feel like having 800 people around you that are in the same position as you and trying to get to the same goal as you is going to benefit you?
Yeah, definitely, man.
You keep saying, yeah, definitely, man, but I mean, break it down for me. Come on. Why do you feel like that?
Oh, it's like you've probably heard the saying, like, if you hang around five smokers, you'll be the sixth.
Oh,
You know,
yes,
it's like you're gonna be a product of your surroundings.
exactly, exactly. That's perfect. That's exactly the way I like to look at it too. But obviously, those are the tools that are essential to actually get you that knowledge that we talked about earlier. Because yes, the videos and stuff are actually going to get you that knowledge at the very start, but then having the coaches and the community around you is only going to develop that knowledge, and essentially, build upon it and get you closer to your goal. But once we actually have that knowledge, right, you're probably thinking to yourself, how the fuck do I make money on this? Like why are you giving me all these tools if it's not going to get me out of my job and make me dough, right? So here's the fun part, right? Once you do get that knowledge, once you make use of the coaches, make use of the community, practice with boys within the community, what we'll actually be able to do, if you're putting in the work if you're holding yourself accountable, we will be able to actually help you land that first role. So essentially, we are a big agency. We work with a lot of creators, companies, and if we feel like you'd be a good fit, we will push your name forward to those companies where you can jump on an interview and go from there, right? Or if we feel like you're doing really well, you're really standing out in front of all these 800 members in the community, what we can do is actually offer you a role within ABC as well, fully remote, fully from your laptop, where you can have far more time for yourself and for the things you want to do. Does that sound good?
That does sound pretty good, like,
Tell me why.
because just like how you said, man, like fucking, I'll not be struggling to find like a job or sort of how to earn an income from it, like, so.
Yeah, because what we can actually do for you, obviously, we can put your name out there, but if you feel like you're ready earlier,
Hmm.
there actually is a module within those training modules that we spoke about earlier about how to land your first remote role too. Where you'll actually be able to be taught what it is that you need to look for and how you apply to all these rules. Is that sounding good to you, Ethan?
Yeah, no, sounds good, man.
Awesome. Brilliant. So based on everything that we've touched on there, that having that knowledge, community, guidance, and that implementation of actually using those tools and getting that first job, do you see the value in this in terms of getting you to your goal?
Yeah, for sure.
And you're saying for sure, but what actually stood out to you then from all those tools?
Well, pretty much everything you say is like, it sounds like a very, very good like setup. Like,
Mm,
sounds like the only way I'd feel is if I give up.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like, there seems like there's so many things in place there to sort of keep me on the right track.
yeah, yeah. In terms of what you said there as well, in terms of giving up, right? I know that you've struggled with sort of self-doubt before. Like ultimately, that's what's held you back for so many months, right?
Hmm.
What we actually have in place as well for sort of exclusive to people that are only starting up, right? We have a coach called Tyler, and he is an accountability coach. So what you can do is actually book in weekly calls with him where you can jump on if you're struggling with anything, um, doubting yourself, or maybe there's something going on outside of ABC that you feel like you need to talk about. Tyler's your man, right? Do you feel like having Tyler there is gonna be good for you?
Yeah, no, it sounds good. Like,
All right, but why is having Tyler there gonna be good?
well, you said he's like, accountability. So, like, if I'm sort of like falling behind or not hitting my goals, if there's someone there to sort of like nudge me a wee bit, I think it would definitely help. Like,
Great. So to top it off, then, man, do you feel like there's anything missing from what we offer?
I don't think so.
Awesome. So, Ethan, man, I'm gonna put the ball in your court now, right? Based on you actually seeing how these things are gonna get you to your goal, where do you want to take it from here, bro?
Um, yeah, man, I wanna join.